Hey everybody, today we are going to start a three-part seller series on pricing your home for market. So stay tuned and we'll get started. On today's show, this is part one of a three-part series that we're going to do on pricing your home to get it on market. So what we want to do, there's a couple key things that we look at when we want to price our home and get it ready for the market. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to talk about condition. And the first rule of thumb is that your price has to be in line with the condition of your home. And so what I'm going to do is kind of show you how we look at that today. I've got a little timeline up here. And so what we're going to look at is the first thing is we're trying to determine how your house looks. Is it average? Is it above average? Is it below average? And so you can see here on the timeline, we kind of got it colored red, blue, green, but this is below average, average condition, and above average condition. So this is kind of where things fall on the timeline. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're actually going to pull comps, and we're going to look at those comps and find out where the houses have sold, and we're going to look at it. And what I've done here is we've got kind of a price per foot value on some of the comps. And so for example, just to make it easy, you know, we in this particular neighborhood that we're looking in, that's where your home is, you know, we've got one on the upper end that's 170 a foot. We've got one more in the average that's 135, and then we got one that's below average on the timeline that's more like $100 a foot. So the reason this is important is because now we've established kind of some values in the neighborhood. And so what we want to do is we want to correlate that with the condition of your home. So when we go in, we're going to evaluate the whole house, and we're going to look and we're going to say, okay, if your house is, let's say it's more a little bit above average, you know, maybe we're going to put it on the timeline here, and now we've got some numbers that are going to give us a realistic range and value of where your house is. And this is just a starting point. This is not going to dictate what your ultimate listing price is going to be, but this is kind of where we start. We first have to look at condition, because two things really sell homes: price and condition. So your house has to be compelling, and if it's compelling in condition, then the more you're going to be able to get for your house. But if it's not necessarily compelling in condition, then we have to make sure that we have the price adjusted so the price is compelling to the buyer, because those are the two motivators for someone to bring an offer. Is it compelling in price, or is it compelling in condition? So that's just a little bit about the starting point of where we try and look at your house in terms of condition to get the pricing strategy started. So stay tuned, and next week we're going to talk a little bit more about the second phase, and then third week, the third phase of how we go about pricing your home. So appreciate you looking at our information today, and we'll see you next week.